proudly presents the 1998 Fish River Canoe Marathon.
The overcast skies above look set to give way to some hot Karoo weather for the first day of the Canoe Fish River Marathon for 1998, a race which, despite its young years, once again has a record entry and remains the biggest race on the South African long-distance canoeing calendar. Over 1,500 paddlers will start at Grassridge Dam this morning. They'll be contesting not only the race, but 26 cumecs of water humping down the Fish River to the overnight stop some 40 kilometers away. Some added spice to this year's race comes from an overseas contingent. Many of the world's best paddlers have decided to stay over from last week's World Flatwater Champs to take on this great river and some of South Africa's top paddlers.
First one.
The first one?
Yeah, first one. We had a bet 7 weeks ago. Yeah. We wouldn't do this race. The guys bet us some money. We started trading. Now we're here. Qualified and we're here.
The secret of canoeing, I've found, these long races is to choose your partner as well.
My partner, who unfortunately is a bit of an alcoholic, Doggy Gar, he caused us to spill into the river. And I nearly went down Keith's back with another canoe.
How are you going to shoot Keith today?
Straight down the middle, man.
I trust my dad, so I'm just going to hang on him and fall off.
I've shot it before, but it's the first time Julie's been in this net. And it's early in the race to have a big swim.
You're paddling with your grandfather in it.
It looks like it, but he's not. No, he's going to get me down safely, I think.
We're going to be fine. We're just going to get to the finish and make sure we're happy at the end and the boat's in one piece.
14.
Ai! Oh, c'est so slow.
This is my first.
It's one thing making a fool of yourself at a canoe race, and when you get some TV, Let me tell you something. This is my paddling mate. He's indolent and he's lazy, and after half an hour he smells pretty bad, I'll tell you that.
He's got a dirty lens there. We need to clean his lens for him.
How do you feel about it?
Not too bad. I'll tell you when I finish the first day.
16. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So I had early nights, about midnight. And I'm keeping poor company, which also accounts for poor health. I've got an ex-Springbok rower next to me, we have my partner. Sadly, the bottle got him. So you just get these things on.
Ja, je zijn er zwaar. Okay, cheers.
Like, who's like have toothless, paddling?
I'm looking forward to going across the dam. Then I'll leave it up to him, because I haven't a clue what's coming next.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit heavy down that through the willows, I think.
Yeah. Now that is a sight to see. Joe, in the morning.
Return to the Fish River Canoe Marathon for two Irish guys, more and more. First of all, why come back?
It's a really good race. It's quite fun. You know, it's a lot of action. You know, weirs and rapids, and a bit of a laugh, really.
Now, your hopes for this race, you've obviously had a good look at the course. You know what you expect this time. You've got some pretty good competition this year.
Yeah, well, I didn't race last time. Gary raced with Simon Dark, but it's very light by Liffey, so it's a long way, though. Yeah, but hopefully we'll be up there.
Okay, now you're racing the fish at its fullest level ever. You had a look at the river yesterday?
Yeah.
And?
Rest. I'm a bit worried. Because it's certainly nothing like anything you get in the UK. The volume of the water is just amazing. So we're a bit worried. Yeah, a bit nervous.
Now, your particular race, you're running a race within a race. How are you guys feeling? A bit competitive?
Yeah, look, veterans, you know, it's the old story. Everybody's got older, but they've stayed as competitive as they were when they were younger. So I think the veterans category is the same as when I was racing seniors. It's very competitive.
I expect the strong competition to come from Daniel Conradi and Murray Wilson, Michael Cheeseman, Eugene van der Westhuizen, the Irish crew of John and Gary Maurer, the brothers. I think they'll be quite strong.
Nothing's guaranteed in this race. You know, there's always that chance element. But yeah, obviously we're going to go out as hard as we can to try and win it. It's going to be a hard dice up front there.
Anxious seeded paddlers gave starter John Oliver a hard time.
Listen guys, we're not going to start until you do it properly. Everyone,
But with a general undignified surge, the A batch got the 98 fish underway. Ahead of them, the sprint across Grass Ridge Dam, which leads to the first portage of the race, that over the dam wall and down to the river. It was tight racing to the takeout. Bird and Van Coller were up front. The Moore brothers, Paul Murray and Graham Solomon, Chalupsky and Bowman, Cheeseman and Van der Westhuizen, all determined to stamp their authority on this race early on. Approaching Toestrack, Bird and Van Coller had set the early pace with the Irish pair in tow. The first bunch was now putting a gap between themselves and the rest of A batch. The much anticipated rapid at Keith's flyover lay in wait for the leaders, as did the seconds and spectators. Maintaining their lead, Bird and Van Coller were the first to appear. Behind them, Byron Braithwaite and Grant Wilson had come up into second place. The leading bunch were making this difficult rapid look very easy. A bit off the pace at this stage was Daniel Conradi and Murray Wilson, as were Herman Chalupsky and Matthew Bowman. Callister and Bartho, with Cheeseman and Van der Westhuizen, were bringing up the rear of the bunch. Seven kilometers downstream was the fourth portage of the race at Prospect Bridge. Gary and John Moore had crept into a close second, with Cheeseman and Van der Westhuizen now up to third. Still trailing Conradi and Wilson, Chalupsky and Bowman. The ladies' race was underway by this stage, and Antje Malherbe with her German partner Annette Schuck were showing early dominance. But Rory Bohm and Sandra Erdley took over the lead at the put-in, giving Malherbe and Schuck some extra work to do.
Fell over, just his
There was a surprise change in the lead at the approach to Saltpans Bridge. Michael Cheeseman and Eugene van der Westerhuizen had taken in both the Irish pair and race leaders Bernard van Koller, putting 8 seconds between them. Conradi and Wilson had gained a few places to lead the second bunch through Saltpans. Back upriver, what had earlier appeared to be easy was no longer the case. The notorious Keats flyover was once again taking its toll. Well, the visiting British pair almost made it on their first attempt.
Jeez, what an amazing race.
Yeah, we fell off at the top of Keith, had an awesome, and unfortunately the boat got wrapped around the bottom rock.
Saltpan's weir further downstream was also proving to be a spot of bother for some of the paddlers. Disturbance of the bird life always indicates the approach of the leaders. Kapkop Weir gave the chance for Bird and Van Coller to regain the lead. That lead was short-lived, however, as Cheeseman and Van Westerhuizen slipped by them once again. A remarkable bit of endurance was being displayed by the Doozy winners Stott and Kelby Murray. Stott was severely hampered by a weakened ankle and left all the carrying of the boat to Murray, who seemed to take it in his stride. The leaderboard had changed yet again at Glen Alpha Bridge. In just 3 kilometers, Bird and Van Coller had managed to open up a lead of around 40 seconds on Cheeseman and Van Westerhuizen. They in turn were about 20 seconds ahead of the bunch, led by Conradi and Wilson. Despite their rudder jamming and causing steering problems, Graham Bird and Alan Van Coller cruised home with a 57-second lead and a new record time for the first day. Determination paid off for Conradi and Wilson as they took second place, just a nose ahead of Cheeseman and Van Westerhuizen. Taking fourth place, Stott and Murray. Graham Bird summarizes.
Yeah, we were very happy. I can't say there were any problems the whole way. We had a really, really comfortable race. We had a good start where we wanted to be. At Keiths, we were fine, exactly where we wanted to be. Shot Keiths, we were just cruising.
We just took an easy pace, made sure we were up with the leaders, and things went well. And then the last half an hour, we just decided to gun it. And yeah, we opened the gap to about 50 seconds in the end, I think.
And a comment from Daniel Conradi.
And it didn't really go the way we planned it. We were hoping to be with the front boat, you know. We got spun out just after Keith's flyover, and we lost about 8 places. We didn't lose too much time, but we had quite a few boats between us and the front bunch. And it was very narrow, that top section, so it was very difficult to come fast. You know, and then the gap was just getting bigger and bigger between us and the front bunch. And eventually, when we got past, we managed to slowly start closing the gap again.
Boy.
Pretty good so far, yeah. Nice weather. With my partner drinks.
Day one of the Canoe fish produced plenty of drama on a very full river. Eventually, a powerhouse performance from the Gauteng crew of Graham Tweety Bird and Alan van Coller saw them open out a 57-second lead after the very tough 45k first leg. But there's a group of 3 paddlers, the number of doozy winners amongst them, that are ready to take advantage of any error they should make on tomorrow's slightly shorter, slightly less technical second leg.
Let's go back upriver 200 meters from the finish for a bit more action.
After that performance, you gotta be on TV. Okay.
Fantastic day. We shot everything, shot Keith, didn't swim, so came through quite strongly at the end. Yeah, it was great.
Nice weather. My partner didn't make too many cock-ups, so it was pleasant.
Right on the river today. Most enjoyable, but after 16 it's getting a bit harder each time, I guess.
Coming up for the 17th one now. My 17th fish.
I can recommend. Very nice, very nice. Water is excellent. The river conditions are weather to play with. No, we were too happy.
My partner wrenched his shoulder at Keith's, so
I got another driver and we finished and just had fun.
Lovely water and nice rapids.
I enjoyed some of the people swimming along the way.
But because there were so many people around, they were all like dumping boats on us and slipping and sliding and falling over the car.
I'm the second time here. I was 93, it was the first time. Now it's the second time, first the World Championships in marathon, and now this very good fun here.
We didn't shoot Keith. Took the conservative line and took a quick portage.
Just tiring above Katko, but oh, it was good. Got it though. Swam at the rear. Yeah, we had to swim at the rear, which was a bit discouraging.
It must have been a branch. Just hit me in the face. We were overtaking another canoe.
The highlight of the day. I suppose surf puns. We got a good line into surf puns down the right-hand side. They'd luckily cut the thorn bush away.
Weather conditions for day 2 of the Canoe Fish River Canoe Marathon. Canoe, take it again. It's Canoe, that's the thing with the whole... The conditions for day 2 of the Canoe 1998 Fish River Canoe Marathon look near perfect for racing. Bright blue Karoo skies and absolutely no wind. A slightly shorter day for the paddlers, less technical, there aren't as many big rapids, but 3 big testing weirs along the way. The day slightly shorter, and with the leaders starting in a bunch as opposed to elapsed time, that's going to suit the leaders, Graham Bird and Alan van Coller, just fine. The ladies will be starting 10 minutes behind them, and then just behind them, the nearly 1,400-odd fish and chips paddlers, who, after the first day of big water, are rating this as one of the greatest canoe marathons that they've ever taken part in. As is customary, some comments from the contenders.
So we're hoping to be strong today. There obviously are some people who had some bad luck stories from yesterday, and hopefully we'll also be keen to go out hard. Hopefully some of our friendly crews, so we'll see what we can do.
The guys who are 6th and 7th, so there's good opportunity for them to get into the front bunch and make the, so for the first 2Ks the pace can be really tough, and hopefully we can just get on quickly and do a bit of warming up before the start.
I think we've still got to go out there and dominate and just make sure everyone knows who's in charge, and just not let them have the opportunity to hurt us at all.
You're looking confident, eh?
Oh, we'll see. It's not over till you cross that line.
Good luck. Thanks a lot.
Graham, you had a super day yesterday. You know, you're lying inside the top 40 and you're shaking up some of the vets as well as leading the Masters.
Yes, we had a very enjoyable day yesterday. It went off very well, uneventful, never had any mishaps, and had a good day. It was, you know, a really nice race.
Hey, what is the plan from here?
Well, we'd like to catch up the next veterans in front of us just to prove a point. So that's what we're going to try and do, yes.
So what's the plan for today? You're, what, 2 minutes 30 off the lead, but you've got boats just in front of you.
Yeah, we're 40 seconds to second place and then just over 2 minutes to the lead. So I think getting to the lead will be quite hard. Looking forward to it more than you.
We'll bumble our way down.
If we can do it in 3 hours, we'll be happy, and we definitely won't be shooting the weir.
We're hoping just to keep our position. They're breathing down our necks, but only shoot Keats, not Craddock. Yeah, the only thing I think to worry about is the shoot, which I'm a bit nervous for. Dad says it'll be okay, so... And then there's Craddock Weir, which I think we're portage anyway, so... Otherwise it should be okay.
Great.
Just hoping.
Ready, go!
Once again, the headstrong seeded paddlers in A batch decided when the race should start. The ladies' batch was far better disciplined.
That's exceptionally good. Ready, go!
This event has grown in popularity over recent years and is now attracting the attention of most of the movers and shakers of the Craddock region. Approaching Ravelli Bridge, the leaders of the batch had split into 2 bunches. The leading bunch had a completely different look to what was anticipated. In front were Byron Braithwaite and Grant Wilson, Murray and Solomon, and the Irish Moore brothers. The main contenders in the race were in the second bunch. Baroda Bridge, 11.4 kilometers from the start of day 2, and the pace was hotting up. Bird and Van Coller were now back in the lead. Cheeseman and Van der Westerhuizen were in there as well. Conradi and Wilson with Braithwaite and Grant Wilson, and Marais and Solomon. And Stott and Kelby Murray found themselves in the second bunch and had a lot of work in store if they were to regain their 4th place from day 1. Longacre Bridge, 4.7 kilometers further downstream. Positions remain the same here. By now, the later batches were also well on their way. Some of the paddlers were doing okay. Some of them had run into problems. And others, well, simply ended their race right here. leaders were now about to drop into gauging weir, some 12.5 kilometers from the finish. Bird, Conradi, Braithwaite, Cheeseman. The first 4 boats kept in a tight diamond, even over the weir. Murray and Solomon on their own for a while. Stott and Murray led the trailing bunch over the weir, 1.5 minutes off the pace. Bird and Van Coller took the Marlow chute first, followed closely by Conradi and Wilson. Cheeseman and Van Westerhuizen were on the pace, with Braithwaite Wilson's boat still in the shaker. Graham and Allen were no doubt comfortable at this stage with the knowledge that they were sitting on a 1-minute lead. The Irish pair were still holding their own in the second bunch. Stott and Murray seemed to take a faster line coming out of Marlow chute and gained 2 places in the process. Craddock Weir, the last obstacle before the finish. Far more risky to shoot at this level of water. Bird and Van Coller shoot it first and make it safely. The others take their time. A swim here will definitely cost a couple of minutes. The second bunch was soon there, also very cautious. But bad luck struck Gary and John Moore. Unable to clear the falling water fast enough, they were pulled back into the washing machine, providing some anxious moments for Gary. The lifeguards on hand eventually pulled him to safety. Just 200 meters to the finish, and tighter racing you could not have wished for. The three crews of Burden van Coller, Cheeseman and van der Westhuizen and Conradi and Wilson had swapped leads consistently. With their 57-second advantage guaranteeing them the win, Burden van Coller also took line honours for day 2. The real race, however, was for second place, which Conradi and Wilson took by a nose, as they had done on day 1.
Thanks, Don. Thanks.
Thanks. A very quick time. Everything go according to plan?
No, we had a very shocking first portage. I don't know, I think we put in at the back of the bunch, we were about 15th, and the pedals were loose, so we stopped to tighten those. By the time we got going, we were about 200-300 meters behind the bunch. So we had a long catch for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then when we got there, we were on the back for a long time. And then eventually we got to the front, and then we could start dictating the pacing out.
The technical stuff today, Canoe,
yeah, we luckily had a free run on all those. You know, it's always that element of chance where something might go wrong, and then it's a minute to lose on a swim.
Yeah.
And we were just, it was always in the back of our minds, I think. And luckily it all went well. You know.
Nice SAK2 River Champs. That's a big feather in your cap. You must be pretty pleased, huh?
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's a nice round off to the whole year.
Hi, Gordon. Had a nice day? Yeah, you. Oh, perfect.
I enjoyed it, Darren.
What's the best part of the day?
I'm Canoe.
Yeah. It was quite hard on the first day. Oh, a bit of probably crack wear, but it was a nice race. Yeah, shot it. Smooth shot.
Shake my boy's hand. Well done, my boy.
He pulled me most of the way, so I didn't really feel it.
Did you feel better?
Yes, we made it. Nice finish. Oh, I'm thrilled. I'm so happy. I'm never happy until I'm on at the end.
Where do we break it? Well, we broke it at Marlow Shoot, and then it said, how's it going? It's straight off. And then it finally took off. We broke our boat.
Did you feel it?
No. Good. I'm so sorry. No, there was such a queue there. We just ran around and passed the whole lot of guys. It was great. Oh, I'm so pleased and sorry. Yes. Thanks very much.
Well, no, I just really enjoyed it. It was great fun. But it's nice finish. You had a good time. And I had an excellent partner, and I'm looking forward to going to sleep. What do you call that? Having a party.
Plenty of drama on the final day, and even though Van Coller and Bird had an attractive advantage, they had to fight their way back into contention and prove by winning this race that they really are world class. For the 1,500-odd paddlers that took part, the big water, the drama on the river, make sure that they'll be back next year, and to make sure that the Canoe Fish River Marathon remains one of the most popular races on the year's calendar. With some more action from the hot spots on the Fish River, here are the results of the 1998 Canoe Fish River Canoe Marathon and SAK2 River Champs.
sight to see, eh?
Sorry, guys.
But listen, tell me what happened.
Well, we came over the weir, we slightly got it wrong, we fell in ourselves, and then another boat came over, straight through the back of our boat, and it was over.
Of the weir.
The 1998 Fish River Canoe Marathon was proudly brought to you by Canoe.